Cubs have acquired Ryan Presley from the Astros. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Cubs' new closer. Cubs acquired closer Ryan Presley, 36-year-old from the Astros, for a 20-year-old pitching prospect Juan Bello. Ranked on Fangraphs as the Cubs' number 31 prospect, but a very young guy who's still got a lot of development ahead of him. The Astros also sent over $5.5 million to cover part of Ryan Presley's $14 million salary for the season. Presley only has the one season left on the contract for this year. There is a vesting option in 2026. Not going to get into that. Um, Last year, Ryan Presley, 3.49 ERA, 1.34 WHIP in 56 and two-thirds innings. And he's now the Cubs closer coming into the season. He was not the closer for the Astros last year as they signed Josh Hader. He is wanting to return to that role. So this is a move that is going to work out for him as he wants to take a closer role again. Last year, we know the Cubs had a lot of issues in the closer role. Alzolay getting injured earlier in the year, and now he is with the Mets. Hector Neris, a $9 million guy coming in last year. That was pretty much a disaster. Although he did lead the team in saves, it was a heart attack Hector every time he came in. Porter Hodge was really impressive down the end of the year, and he'll probably start this year as the setup man. So, and then the rest of the guys were all guys that are not either with the team anymore, guys that picked up throughout the year with Jorge Lopez, Colton Brewer. They still have Tyson Miller and they still have Keegan Thompson, although he may be more of a long relief guy. One of the things with getting a 36-year-old closer, yes, he's got plenty of experience. There's the positives, the negatives. He's definitely on the downturn of his career, and we saw his fastball really dip last year from 94.7 to 93.8 miles per hour on average. That's a very notable decrease. And it was kind of interesting because he started using the fastball more last year. Here we'll look at his fastball usage by year. It was 32.9% in 22, but we see the xWOBA quite high, 402. So hitters were hitting it well. He dropped that back in 23, and we see the xWOBA go way down, 281, and then back up with the fastball usage of 2024. So and of course we get a little bit of an uptick in that xWOBA again. So I would expect a shift away from the fastball usage and more towards the sliders. Sliders his best pitch and definitely his best whiff rate pitch. So I'd expect more of that from the Cubs as he joins them this year. One of the other, I guess, maybe warning signs of him getting a little older and maybe hitters being able to hit him a little better. The blown saves last year. So we look here, we got the graph of blown saves since 2021, 2, 4, 6, and then 8 last year. So that's a little bit concerning. Although, as we look here, the home runs aren't actually getting worse. There's 4 home runs allowed in 22, 8 in 23, and then back to 4 in 2024. And one of the reasons for that is he's got a high ground ball rate along with the high chase rate. So it's the ground ball rate that is preventing the home runs. So as long as we're keeping the walks down a little bit, it's going to be balls put in play, which I think favors the Cubs defense and the really solid defense they have out there this year. Here we will see the strikeout rate is dropping every year. So that's something that's a little bit of a concern. But again, as we're putting the ball more in play, that's going to trust the Cubs defense a little bit more. Now let's get into Ryan Presley's pitch mix. Fastball was the highest last year, highest usage. Again, expect that to drop a little bit this year and use that slider a little more. I also like the curveball. He has shown a good ability to use both the slider and curve against lefties too. So that's part of why that changeup usage is lower. It's not necessarily his best secondary, but really good 3-pitch mix and add the changeup in there as well. A good mix for a closer. We'll take a look at some of them here as we've got the fastball to David Fry here, getting him to swing on fastball up. Next, we've got that fastball down in the zone as we get Jorge Polanco looking. Here we got the slider to Marcell Ozuna, gets it as a chase pitch here. Really love it as that. And he can also use it against lefties, as we see here, to Bo Naylor. And then the curveball is a pitch I really like. Really got that 12-6 type of movement. Here we see him get Cubs Michael Busch looking, and then we can also see him get a swing here on the Rockies' Alan Trejo. One of the things I think is a negative with the slower velocity from Ryan Presley lately is really the difference in velocities. So not as big of a difference between some of his pitches, which is why I like that curveball a little more. Is it's his slowest pitch by about 7 miles an hour. So I like that more to kind of create that separation in velocities. Let's take a look at the Cubs bullpen additions so far this offseason. Ryan Presley, Caleb Thielbar, the lefty, Eli Morgan from the Guardians, Matt Festa, who, important to note as of this video, he got DFA'd for Ryan Presley, but Cubs hoping he can make it through waivers and be one of those depth relievers. Gavin Hollowell and Rob Zeeb, the lefty, former Cub. Um, Here we'll take a look at a little more of the full bullpen depth we currently have for the Cubs. Ryan Presley sliding into that closer role. Porter Hodge, the setup man. Tyson Miller right now is the seventh inning guy. I also have Nate Pearson, Thielbar, the lefty, Julian Merriweather, and the long reliever Keegan Thompson. Continuing along, we see Eli Morgan, another lefty, and Luke Little, Jack Neely, who got a little time last year, Palencia, another high velocity guy who can get there, Ethan Roberts. And so we see it, and then a couple non-roster guys that we can get more into in another video, but a couple other guys that'll be interesting to look at in spring training here. Overall, you could also throw in some of the, I guess you call them depth starters as of now, Ben Browns and those type of guys to potentially see in the bullpen. But as of now, let's look at the bullpen depth. If you've made it to the end of the video, I appreciate it. Please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comments what you think of the deal for Ryan Presley. I don't think it's too, I mean, they didn't really give up a whole lot, and it's a chance for a really dependable guy at the back end of the bullpen. But let me know in the comments. And let's get ready for some spring training baseball. Go Cubs.